Thank you, Mr Speaker. And may I also pay tribute to the life of noble Baroness Boothroyd, who sadly passed away last week. As the first and only Speaker, she blazed a trail for women, showing us that a woman's place is indeed not only in the House of Commons, but also it's at the top, and her legacy will live on and long be remembered in this place. I know my honourable friend is passionate about ensuring people with special educational needs and disabilities get the right support they need. I completely understand the complexities of a rural constituency, as I represent one myself, which is why this government introduced additional payments for small and remote mainstream schools, currently benefiting 23 schools in Rutland and Melton. More recently, at the autumn statement, we announced an extra £2 billion for schools next year and the year after, meaning we will be spending more on schools than ever before, and this includes £400 million to support high needs budgets from next April.
Thank you,
Mr Speaker. I thank the Government for that investment in 23 schools in my constituency. However, the families that my team and I have supported are sometimes waiting 40 weeks for assessment for special education needs, far beyond the 6-week statutory. So can I please invite her to come and meet with my councils and my schools to understand why we have so many difficulties in rural and small councils?
So state.
I thank my honourable friend, and all of us will be aware of the huge impacts that long waiting times for diagnosis for autism and ADHD can have on children in our communities, and many of us will see these cases in our surgery. To address this, last year we invested £13 million and a further £2.5 million this year to improve autism assessment pathways. NHS England are developing national guidance to improve access to autism assessments, and we're also committed to look at improving data on ADHD assessment waiting times to help improve access. I'm sure my honourable friend will join me in welcoming also my department's SEND and Alternative Provision Improvement Plan, which we'll be publishing within the next week.
Mayor Wilson.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. A special school in Oxfordshire is one of dozens of schools that in the past few years has had to close because the buildings were deemed unsafe for pupils. Last week it was revealed 39 schools have partly or fully closed since the general election for this reason. With the House of Commons Library confirming that money to maintain school buildings has been cut by 4% in real terms, how will ministers assure parents, both of children in special schools and mainstream schools, that their children are safe and buildings are fit for purpose?
Well, I thank the honourable lady for her question. And it is obviously always important that our children are in safe schools, and we always take action as soon as possible if there are any concerns raised within a school, and that's what we do. There's been £15 billion spent on the condition of school buildings since 2015, but there are also additional funds for adding capacity as well. We do have a lot of work in this. We have school rebuilding, but we also have condition assessments, and right now structural engineers in some schools as well, making sure that we have all the information and data we need so we can make sure all of our schools are fit for purpose.
David Simmons.
Number 2, please, Mr Speaker.
Secretary of State.
The NHS long-term plan will give children with special needs in residential special schools access to site checks. On top of this, last year my department trialled a new scheme in mainstream schools called Glasses in Classes, which provided a spare pair of glasses for every child who needed one. I'm looking forward to hearing from the University of Durham and the University of Bradford, who will be publishing their findings on this in due course. My honourable friend, the Minister for Children, Families and Wellbeing, will continue to work closely on this with her counterpart in the Department of Health and Social Care.
David Simmons.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I thank the Secretary of State for the answer. At my recent visit to the Eden Academy in my constituency illustrated the importance of vision to achieving educational outcomes. So may I ask my right honourable friend what plans there are across government to ensure the availability of sufficient and appropriate eye testing so that children in SEND day schools are able to achieve the best possible educational outcomes?
So state.
Well, I thank the honourable friend for his question. And of course, it's really important. And actually, as an aunt to a nephew with Down syndrome who does wear glasses, it is very important. And also, it was a privilege to support the Down Syndrome Act in my previous role. Turning to free NHS sight tests, these are available for all children under 16 and under 19 in full-time education. Children can be supported to access high street services or referred into the local eye service. And NHS are currently evaluating their proof of concept sight testing programme in special schools, and this evaluation will inform decisions about the funding and delivery of any future sight testing model.